If we do the tour, will we still be able to come back and walk through the museum?
You probably have about 10 minutes for that.
Okay.
So it'll probably be about 2 minutes or that early to the
Sarah, this is a fantastic place for a picture right here. Did you see that? That is really cool. Yeah.
It's already half
It's a good deal. How do you sit?
95054. So where does the tour start?
It'll be right over there.
All tours meet here.
Okay.
And then the meeting museum is over here.
Look at these cars. Maybe I should get these for England.
I bet that's for you. Yeah.
Sarah,
Okay.
select your horse. What am I supposed to do?
Let's see. Oh no.
Attention museum guests, if you're interested in taking our final historic walking tour of the day, please make your way to the front lobby at this time. That tour will be leaving in approximately 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Derby when they are 3 years old. And all thoroughbreds, regardless of when they're actually born, their birthday is January 1st. So that means the horses who ran in last year's Derby, they have now turned 4. They cannot run the Kentucky Derby anymore. There's still other races for them to compete in, but no more Derby. If you hear the word, this is the paddock area. This is where the horses come and get saddled. On the other side of the racetrack, we have barns over there, and there's stall space for 1,400 horses on the other side of the racetrack. Right now, there's probably about 500 or 600 horses. Coming up in about 2 weeks, it's going to be full. There'll be 1,400 horses over there. Well, those horses are going to make their way around the racetrack in a procession, and they're going to make their way down in here on Derby. Before they head back to their stalls, there's going to be a young lady standing here, and she's called the Horse Identifier. Her job is to make sure the proper horse is coming through here. And a series of racing, that kind of serves as their brand or their social security number, just so we know we got the right horse coming through. Then they'll head back here behind you, and there's 20 stalls that go across that paddock. Right now they're only numbered to 14. That's because any other day we race, 14 is going to be the maximum allowed in any one race. But the Derby being what it is, being so special, we're going to allow 20 horses on that day. So all 20 stalls will be full. 12 minutes before the race, they're going to yell riders up. They're going to give those jocks a boost up onto the horses. They're going to make their way right down this runway towards the racetrack. So let's start making that walk the same way they did. As we do, look up here at 1973, and you're going to see a Triple Crown winner. You're going to see Secretariat's name up there. The Secretariat set the track record here that day. He ran the 1.25 miles in 1:59 and 2/5 seconds. His track record still holds today, 40 years later. 2 weeks after that, he went up to the Preakness Stakes in Baltimore, set the track record there. That record still holds 40 years later. The average heart of a thoroughbred is going to weigh between 7 and 9 pounds. Secretariat's heart weighed 22 pounds. So that's probably had a lot to do with the stamina he had. A lot of horses can run fast for a short period of time, but the truly great ones can carry that speed over a distance. Secretariat in the Derby, he ran each 1/4 of a mile faster than he ran the previous 1/4 of a mile. So he was just getting faster as the race went on. Here on that song, it's pretty hard not to get emotional. We don't have pro sports here in the state of Kentucky. This is kind of like our pro sport right out here. If you look across the way, folks, you're going to see the newest addition to Churchhill Downs, that big Jumbotron across the way. That thing's over 15,000 square feet. So now even those people that are out in the infield that don't normally get to see too much of the race, they'll be able to follow the action on that big screen now. Now, from one end of this grandstand to the other, it holds about 52,000 people. On Derby Day, they're going to put up a lot of temporary seats. When you look across the way, you see these glass booths across. That's all temporary suites that are being put up for Derby Day. They got more of them stacked down here to our right. So there's a lot of temporary seating going up. It'll be closer to about 65,000 seats on Derby Day. But we're going to probably this year have over 170,000 people here. So you got over 100,000 without a seat. 80,000, they take that tunnel, they're out there in that middle. They don't care too much about what's going on around them out there. Their biggest challenge is how they sneak their alcohol in. They sell plenty of alcohol here, but they won't let you bring your own. And those folks out there take that as a personal challenge. We have a car show in October out there. They'll come to the car show, they'll sneak off, they'll dig a hole, they'll bury their liquor. And then 7 months later, they'll be digging it up on Derby Day. I promise you it happens. I had a friend of mine had a little red wagon, had a false bottom in it. It would hold 2 cases of beer. We rode that thing out there 20 straight derbies till he got caught. Now they won't let wagons in anymore. Back in the museum, there's a quote from a young girl, says she's been out there for 12 derbies. She says, normally I'm a size B. When I'm entering the derby, I'm a size D. So everybody figures out a different way. Now down here to the right, you see the finish line, the white pole with the gold ball. 1 lap around here is 1 mile. Well, the Derby is longer than that. It's 1 1/4 miles. So if you look down to the left, you see that red and white pole down there where the track starts to bend. That's called the quarter pole. It means it's 1/4 mile from there to the finish line. So that means the race is going to start down there to the left. They're going to run by here 1 time, and then they're going to make another lap of that track to complete 1 1/4 miles. I wish everybody could see it at least once in their life. You get 20 of the fastest thoroughbreds in the world, and they come thundering by here in clay. The Derby is always run on that surface, doesn't matter what the weather. But on the inside of that, we have a grass track. Some horses prefer to run on the grass, but the Derby is always run on this main track. So maybe only about 20% of our races are run on the grass. Otherwise, they're running here on this sand track here in front of us. Now, up behind us, if you look up over here to my right, you see that booth up there in between those lights. He is the track photographer. He's directly in line with the finish line to take a picture of a close finish. Below him, there's 6 or 7 booths up there. That's where the announcer calls the race, and that's where the judges are as well. They're called stewards in horse racing. Below that is the 6th floor, and that's always been referred to here at Churchhill Downs as Millionaires Row 6. Means it costs a little bit to sit up there on Derby Day. Well, last year they took half of Millionaires Row 6 and they renovated it. That's the area up there that has the gold railing around it now. And that area is called the Mansion. If you want to go up there on Derby Day, you got to be invited. And from what I understand, last year if they invited you, it was somewhere between $8,500 or $12,000 a person if they invited you to sit up there. I think one of our former University of Louisville basketball players did very well in the NBA and in business. I believe he bought up most of that area up there last year. Now 2 floors below that is Millionaires Row 4. Queen of England was here in 2007. That's where she was standing on that corner balcony right up there watching the race, giving her queen wave to everybody. Well, Millionaires Row, I want to tell you, if you ever think you want to come back to the Churchhill Downs on a day other than the Derby, you can make reservations to sit up there on Millionaires Row. And they'll have a buffet up there. They'll feed you all day long. And you'll have a great view of the races from up there. And you're going to see right out in front of there, there's a horseshoe shape. And that's where the winner, that's called the winner's circle. There'll be roses planted there in the shape of a horseshoe. Well, the winning horse is going to get presented with a garland of roses. The winning owner is going to get a gold trophy and a check for about $1.4 million. Now the jockey, he'll get about 10% of what the owner gets. So a jockey's going to make about $140,000 for his 2-minute ride. Now that's a pretty good hourly rate, but you better realize that every time those jockeys...
Look at this giant flower.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here's the queen. Where's the flower? Where?
Up there. Giant spot.
It's my derby.
Our girls
The museum is now closed. If you make your way to the front, is again, the museum and gift shop are now closed. Thank you.
It was. Thank you for getting that.
Look
Yeah.
at this hat. Look at this hat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, it is an umbrella. I thought it was a hat.
Oh, look at John. Oh, well, I thought that's perfect.
Here, we'll get in there. And I'll get on the Or you and John can get in there.
John, get in.